let's start out with an informative greeting from me to you. What's happening? What is up? I hope it's going well. If you clicked on this video, it's either one, because you like to just watch me, so thank you so much for being here, or two, you're going through a freaking breakup or some kind of something. Doesn't matter what kind of breakup it is, friendship, intimate, work, family, whatever kind of related it can be, but you're here to have some answers, maybe some reassurance or some kind of help or some kind of motivation, maybe just to hear something that you can relate with. Well, I'm right here to put some perspective into your life. If you have no idea who the heck I am, my name is Stacy, and I just want to say hi. Let me take a breather because I'm a little winded. Before I do start, I just want to say that all of this is my opinion. It's from my personal experience, what I've seen, witnessed, done, worked on, helped myself out with. Obviously, I'm not a counselor or therapist or any of that stuff, but I can be here as a friend to possibly say the words and hopefully say the words that you may be needing to hear, or that you do know and you just want to have them feel a little bit more concrete. I'm here. I'm that friend just talking to you, just giving you some personal advice. At the end of the day, you can take it with a grain of salt or with a bunch of grain of salt. So you can do whatever you want to do with it. My biggest thing is that you listen to yourself and you listen to your heart and you listen to your own opinion first, and then you can add in other opinions. I just think the smartest thing to do is just try. Just try, because this is going to be a long process for you, especially if you're hurting really bad. It is going to be a long process. There's no sugarcoating. I'm not one to sugarcoat. It's gonna take some time, and there's no telling how much time. Everybody's gonna have different amounts of time of a healing period that it's gonna take, because we're all different. And it's all gonna depend on so many variables, so many factors. Two things that are for sure that are gonna go on is that it's gonna take time, and it's gonna take a lot of work. It's always good to practice hard work and having a hard work ethic, because it goes for everything in your life. Work, school, career, relationships, friends, all kinds of stuff. Family. I believe in hard work. Hard work is essential. And you've heard it all along. The things that are worth it in life are going to take hard work and patience, and I think that's absolutely beautiful. And I think so long as we see things through a positive perspective, we will see how beautiful that really is when you can work hard for something and actually attain it. The payoff is 20 million times better, so you deserve that. So with that being said, let's start the video. No contact, for those of you who are probably like, what the heck is she talking about? That's basically just not having any type of communication. Any type. That means no text messages, no late night booty calls, no calls at all, no voicemails, no physical contact, no seeing them, no stalking, no letters, no snail mail, no sending horses to go talk to them and send messages. None of that, okay? None of that. No leaving little notes here and there. There's just got to be no contact. Completely blocking them out of your life. And I would go as far as saying no talking to their family or their friends. If you really truly want to get over this, you're going to do what it takes, right? Yes, there may be other ways, but this video is about no contact. And one thing that I learned was that no contact is going to be one of the biggest helps to you, especially in a moment like this, because the one thing that will for sure bring you back is talking to them and having contact with them, being surrounded by people that know them. Because be sure that photos will resurface or pop up, and you'll see what they're doing, and you'll hear about what they're doing, and they'll bring up the name and all that, and that's just so hard on your heart, especially when you're suffering. You want to treat your heart like a little baby or like a fun little birdie, and you're just kind of like nurturing it back to health. And that is exactly what you have to do with your heart, because let's think of it this way: your heart is a muscle, and the more that you work on your heart, the stronger it becomes, right? Anyway, so no contact is going to be essential for you to get over this. I believe it's what is essential to be able to detach yourself from whoever it is you're trying to detach yourself from and heal and help yourself heal. I know it's going to be hard. I know this is going to be hard, because this person was someone that you were so used to having around and talking to, and they were a big part of your life, and you invested time, emotions, feelings, you invested all kinds of stuff, money. You invest all kinds of you into them, and there's so much time that has now been just lost and tossed away. You're gonna hear me a lot talking about perspective in this video, and the truth is how you perceive things, how you see things is exactly what's also gonna help you get through these things. Let's take, for example, you have two pairs of glasses to choose from. You have the glasses that will filter everything through a positive perspective, and the glasses that have a negative filter. Whichever one you choose, that's how you will essentially be seeing. Your perspective will shift to each one. Let's start with the negative one. You put those on, and everything that you see is going to be filtered through these negative glasses. For example, let's say that you're going through this period in time and you're thinking about blocking them, and you're like, I want to block them. The negative filters are going to be like, but I invested so much time, and why does this have to happen to me, and why this and why that and all this and all that, and forget them and do this. Everything that you spit out and feel and think and say is going to result in something negative. But if you put on the positive glasses, then you're going to have a more positive outlook, a more positive mentality, because you're gonna be like, you know what, I'm hurting so bad, but at the end of the day, I want to rise up. I want to do better. I want to heal. And yes, this may have happened to me, but I know deep down inside that there is a reason why this happened. You start to talk to yourself positively. You start to treat yourself better. You start to treat your heart better. You start to see things for what they are, the reality of how things may have been, and how much better they're going to get, and how much better they already are. If that person was dragging you down so damn much, as time passes and you work on this, you're gonna start to realize these things, and you're gonna feel how much lighter you are now that you're not being weighed down, and how much you were weighed down back then, and by an individual who's not even you. That person was controlling you, that person was taking over, and you allowed that. And that's not something to be upset with you about. It's something to work on. And I know it's easy to feel dumb and feel stupid and be upset with yourself and disappointed in yourself, and that is okay, but just don't let that drag on, because at the end of the day, you're just harboring negative feelings. Forgive yourself for allowing that to happen to yourself, and move on, move forward. Get in that moment, feel those feelings. It's important to feel those feelings, and as soon as you feel a little bit better, you know, when we cry for long periods of time or whatever it could be, right after we feel this calmness, this quietness, this tranquility, and we're just like, I can get up and I'm good, I feel better. Feel that tranquility and look in the mirror, even if it feels funny, look in the mirror and say, you know what? You and we're gonna make it through, and I'm not ever gonna let this happen to you again, because I have your back now. Maybe I thought I did back then and I didn't, and we let things happen and we let things influence us for the worse, and we let people control us. That ends now. I've got your back. I'm not gonna let that ever happen to you again. And just little things like that, again, even if it feels strange, it goes a long way. And you start to understand that self-love is so damn important. Self-value is so important. Self-worth is so important. Because when you begin to love yourself wholeheartedly and really truly love yourself, you'll understand your true value and how you don't deserve disrespect and being treated badly. All the bad, you understand what you want in life and what you know that you deserve. And that is absolutely beautiful. It's not being conceited. It's not being selfish in a negative way, but it's understanding and seeing your value and not ever letting anybody ever do that to you again. Yes, there are going to be times when that may happen and may slip up, but it's like a muscle. Again, if you really want to grow your freaking bicep, you're going to have to work at it, right? At first, the task is going to be really hard, and then your muscle's going to get used to it, and it's going to grow, and then you're going to find something to work on even more, to challenge that muscle, to make it grow even more. It's the same thing. Hard work is going to need to be needed here, and if you're not willing to work hard, I don't know what to tell you, because at the end of the day, it's going to take some hard work. And I know it's so much easier to just go off and maybe take some substances to cover it up, to numb yourself, or to drink, or to do this or to do that, and do other things that are going to temporarily fix it and not make you think. But at the end of the day, what happens when that high goes down, when all of that goes away, when the numbness wears off and you're back at feeling again? You're still there, you're still at that same place. You just literally put it on pause for a second, did that, and now you're pressing play again. So why not take that time and that energy, all of that you're using to numb yourself, to work on yourself, to help yourself get through that faster? Because with all of this, you're just prolonging it, and not only that, but you're creating so much more to have to work on later. You're creating all these other problems for yourself, and that's the last thing that your poor heart needs right now. I think it's so important, and sure, again, not everybody that watches this video is going to agree and is going to want to do that, but at the end of the day, you're the one living for yourself. I'm just here as a friend to talk to you and to hopefully get you to see these things, to understand, and to help you through your situation. I've been through these things before, and that is the only reason why I share this and why I share my perspective and how I feel about it and what has worked for me. Obviously, what works for me is not always going to work for you, and what may work for you may not have worked for me. But the beauty of life is that you can take and grab whatever it is that you hear, apply it to your life, try it, and figure out if it does work or not. That's awesome. Again, one of the biggest parts of dealing with heartbreak, and I'm not going to talk about like the whole going through heartbreak and whatnot, but I just know that essential thing that comes with no contact is allowing yourself to grieve this, because while you're not having any contact with them, this is your perfect moment to just grieve your loss. It is so important. And I've said this in so many of my videos, it is so important to grieve your loss, because if you don't, be sure that it will come back and bite you in the ass later down the road. If you just constantly block it off and not want to talk about it, not want to think about it, not want to see anything that has to do with any of it, at first it's gonna be like, okay, this is cool, but then eventually it's gonna set in and it's gonna come and bite you in the booty, and you're not gonna like it, and it's gonna suck. And that could be in any kind of way that it comes back and bites you in the butt. So let's say, for example, you meet somebody down the line and you're just like, okay, yeah, no, I'm good, I can jump into a relationship. You're with this person really likes likes you and you think you really like this person, or you do like this person, whatever it could be, and then shit starts hitting the fan and something happens within you and you're just like, oh shoot, I'm really not over it. Like, I can't give myself my all to this person. And here it is, you find this great girl, this great guy, and now you're just like, I fucked things up because I literally can't give my all to you. Now you broke their heart, or you broke your own heart again, and it's just this mess. Or for example, let's just say you've got this awesome career opportunity and you go and you do whatever it is and you're thriving and you're excited and you're happy. And then there's a turning point in all that and you're just kind of like, oh, you know, like something's not right, something's not healed inside me, something's not good, something's happening in here and I feel like crap. And you start to notice, yeah, it's because I'm missing that part where I wanted to heal. That moment where you didn't grieve that loss. And so it catches up to you in different types of ways. Most of the time I've seen and I've noticed it catches up to you. So that's why I think it's important to tackle it right as it happens and grieve that loss. Because you could eventually be making things worse for yourself. And again, you don't want that. You don't want to add that to your poor heart who's already hurting so damn bad. So with blocking off the person that you're trying to block off, your ex, whoever it could be, you're helping yourself give yourself time to grieve the loss that you are now going through. And I think that is very important. It's a perfect time to allow yourself to be sad and feel these emotions. And that's another thing. I don't think it's a good idea to block off your feelings and just not feel, because you are a human, and at the end of the day, feeling is good. Feeling the sadness and the pain and disappointment and all these terrible feelings, it's good to feel them, because through feeling that, then you know your true feelings, and from that you grow. It's healing. I think what the point where it becomes really bad and now you're going backwards and heading downhill is when you stay in those moments for too long. I think the first month or so is essential for you to feel all that, and is where you should be just letting all that out, because it is a loss. Again, you invested so much of yourself and time and everything else into this person, into this relationship, into these moments of your life, and you created so many memories, good and bad, that would it not be human of you to just be like, all right, well, I'm cool. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there's some people in the world that are like that, but like, there's this line in this song, I think it's Switchfoot. There's a line that says, if it doesn't break your heart, it isn't love. To me, ever since I've heard that line, it made so much sense to me. You know, maybe you're just kind of like, what? That doesn't even fucking make sense. But it makes sense to me. So I was like, hey, yeah, if it doesn't break your heart, it isn't love. So maybe that's what that person that was just like, okay, I'm cool. Yeah, all right. 7 years out of the dream, cool. Back to the people who were in love and are feeling distraught over this. I think, again, it's essential to feel what you're feeling, and when you feel that calmness or that feeling of feeling a little bit better, go to work on yourself. Go to work, go to work, go to work. And this is also a time for you to allow yourself to have that mental clarity and allow things to just shift into perspective for you, because you were in that relationship for so long and they could have possibly been even brainwashing you or manipulating you or just taking over you, and maybe you forgot to think for yourself and you forgot to care for yourself, and you were so wrapped up in pleasing them and making them happy and doing things for them and trying not to make them get too upset at you, because then you were scared of what was going to happen, or their abuse, whether that was verbal, physical, or emotionally, whatever it could be. Maybe all that clouded you up and you forgot what it was like to have your own perspective and to think with your own mind and to do your own thing. It's possible because you get so wrapped up in this other person that at the end of the day you forget about yourself, especially if you've been dealing that with so many years. You almost forget what it's like to be alone, and so when you do get to be alone, it becomes harder because you're so used to being with somebody, you're so attached to them, you're so comfortable. Like, it was just that comfort of having them around, and it almost feels like you don't know what to do now because you were so used to that person. They were calling the shots and they were always there and they would do this with you and go here and do that. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, now that they're out of your life, it's like you're missing this huge piece to you, but you're still forgetting that before then you were alone. And yeah, you may have been in a relationship, or yeah, you may have dated somebody else, but before that you were still you, and before that other person you were you, and before that person you were alone, and you're still you. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, you're not lost, you're not done with, you're not ever not gonna come back. You're in here. You've been hiding though because somebody has told you that that wasn't right, or that this wasn't right, or that this is how you should be, or somebody was controlling you. And so now it's time for you to take that control back and fucking own it. Own your life. Own you. You know what I mean? Do what you gotta do to get back up on your feet. Do this for yourself. You are important. You are freaking amazing. You are freaking beautiful. You are incredible. You are valuable. You are worthy of so much, and you deserve love. You don't deserve disrespect. You don't deserve somebody to mistreat you in that way. You deserve the utmost love and respect and happiness. But all of that has to start with you. All of that has to start with you. You can't rely on somebody else to make you happy, because that just does not work. You cannot expect somebody to make you happy 24/7, because at the end of the day, those people that you're relying on to make you happy are worrying about themselves too, most people. Because there are people, and I believe a majority of those people who I'm not talking about, who I'm not saying most are worried about themselves, are the ones who are happy with themselves and do give themselves love and are actively working on themselves and genuinely happy and know their love and know their self-worth and their self-value and give themselves love. And now that they understand that and they reach that level, they are happy, genuinely happy. They have so much love to give because they have so much love within themselves, and they give themselves love, and they're not relying on other people to make them happy and give them love. So those people are the ones that do have love to give. You get what I'm saying? But that, for many of us, is the goal: to be happy, to love ourselves, to not feel scared because others are going to judge us, to let go of that judgment and those fears. But for the most who are constantly worried about themselves and are doing things for their convenience, they're not going to be able to be making you happy 24/7, and it's going to become a job to them. And that's exactly what you don't want, right? You don't want somebody to feel like it's a job for them to have to make you happy, because now you're putting a huge responsibility on them when it shouldn't be that way. You have the responsibility to make yourself happy, not anybody else. Once you give yourself that happiness and you give yourself that love and that value and whatever it is, that respect and everything that you want somebody else to give you, give yourself first. And then when you meet the person that is ready to give all that to you, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be so much better than what you felt when you were constantly just relying on somebody to give you that. Sometimes we rely on that unconsciously and we're not thinking about it. You know, it makes so much sense, right? We're not thinking about it. We just love it and we take it, you know, and it makes us happy. And so we lose ourselves in that. But when that person comes along and they can be like, hey baby, I got all this for you. That's what she said. Then you're going to be like, wow, this is amazing. It's gonna be like 40 million times happier, lovelier. I'm not even gonna get on that whole subject, but you get what I'm saying. I hope that you get what I'm saying. And the best feeling on top of that is being able to give all that in return to that person. And I think that's incredible. And then you guys will play off of each other like that. And so back to the whole being used to somebody else and having them around and forgetting about yourself. Well, now that you're alone, now it's time to enjoy being alone and enjoy yourself, and you're bringing back your independency. Now you're no longer depending or relying on anybody else. Now you're just depending on yourself. You have that independence. Now you have more time to do the things that you love, more time to discover the things that you love that you didn't know that you love, more time to go back and do the things that you couldn't do possibly before. More time for you, and that's amazing. That's so good, especially when you had to spend so much time feeling like shit and worrying and stressing and being disrespected and feeling sad and crying and all that. Now you have all this time for yourself. You have your independency back. It's a moment to observe more, to learn more about yourself, to get to know yourself more. Take advantage of that. Take advantage of that, because those are the moments that are going to be so freaking wonderful for you, and they're going to make you feel so much better, because whether we want to see it or not, it feels good to give ourselves some time and take care of ourselves and give ourselves some self-love and to give us good feelings and treat ourselves well. It's such a good feeling, and I think that is essential, especially when you're going through this. And now you have all this time that you didn't before because you were so far up there, but, you know, putting it nicely, you were so far up there, but you didn't have all this time. And of course, with all that time, it gives you a lot more time to think and wallow and, you know, do all that stuff and dwell on it. And so that's why I say it's important to feel that and dwell and take the time that you need to cry and think about that and reminisce and all that stuff. But also take the time to work on yourself. Also take that time to go out and, if you've been wanting to jet ski, go and learn, or learn a new sport or a new instrument, learn how to cook, or go here, or go there, and go explore and travel and go out with friends. Go do all that. Do all that you want to do. And yes, of course, there are gonna be times when you don't want to do anything. That's fine. Allow yourself to just be and do what you want to do. If you feel like just laying down and crying, lay down and cry. And once you feel better, get up and go to work. You're also not gonna just heal by just crying forever. Yeah, they say time heals all wounds, but like, if you want to help yourself out, it's not a bad idea. You know what I mean? You can get there quicker, and it's not about rushing. Again, I'm just saying, like, you can help yourself heal faster. And again, it's not going to be from day to night. So it's important to remember that it's not going to happen from day to night. It's going to take some time, like I said in the beginning. But again, with all of this time on your hands, go out and distract your mind and enjoy yourself. And it doesn't mean that distracting your mind is going to block everything out. But remember that being out with friends, family, or just by yourself, or going and doing things that you've been wanting to do, is going to give you the opportunity to observe your surroundings and take all of that back in and be like, whoa, there's so much more to life. This is just not it. Your life is not just revolving around this person. There's so much more in life. This is just a small amount of your life. But this was taking all of that up, and maybe you forgot about all that. Take a moment to go outside and look at the trees and be happy that you're even able to have the blessings that you're able to have at that moment, to be able to stand there, to be able to sit there, to be able to look out, to be able to see, to be able to hear, to have all those blessings. That's amazing. Because always remember this, things could be super, super, super worse for you like they are for others out there. So you are definitely blessed to have what you have. If you have a good job, or you have a home, you have a car, you have everything that you need to get through your day, that's a blessing. That's a big thing too, is if you're not already grateful, be more grateful or become grateful. Look at your surroundings and see how freaking amazing it is to have what you have. And sure, maybe it's not exactly all that you want, but you're so fortunate to have what you have right now in this moment. Work your ass off so you can eventually have that. But be in the moment, be present, be happy, be thankful for what you do have. Being thankful and being grateful goes a long way as well. They give you reasons to feel happy and to see that shit could really, really be worse for you. And it's always such a good idea and a good feeling to realize how blessed you truly are to have what you have. Feel happy and feel good about it. Because again, it's not to make you feel terrible for what you're going through or for what you're feeling with what you're going through. And it's not to say that what you're going through is not valid, because what you're going through is valid. But it's a mindset shift that is very important for you to grasp the concept of, to have in mind, is that as soon as you're feeling these things, take a second, pause, have that mental shift. Just take a second, take a deep breath and look around and observe the things that you have in front of you. Look down, look at your two hands, look at everything, your body, your eyes, your hair, everything that you have that you would be so sad if you did not have. Think of that. Take a second to say thank you to your higher power, to whatever it is that you may believe in, the universe, to yourself, to your hard work, to whatever it could be. Take a second to say thank you for all those things. I know it might sound silly, I know it might feel silly, but silly. I said silly. Silly, but it's so empowering to just sit there and say thank you and feel grateful and just bask in a moment of gratitude. And it's also nice to momentarily escape from all the pain from what you're feeling to this moment of just feeling thankful and grateful and appreciating what you have. And it's for something extremely positive, because I mean, how could that be negative? It's so positive to feel thankful and happy and just feel fortunate. And yes, even though this over here, this heartbreak is unfortunate, there's so much more that's gonna come out of that is gonna show you how fortunate you are. And something very important to remember is that once you lose something, you're gonna gain so many more things in life. It's not all about just losing. In life, we win and we lose, right? That's a part of life, and it's good to lose, because losing really punches you in the mouth and makes you bleed and really shows you what life is all about. If we don't have that, we're gonna live life thinking life is all about winning, and that is exactly how it is not. It's not all about winning. Like they say in life, we win some, we lose some. But it's true, like we do win some, we do lose some, and it's important to lose. And those losses are such an opportunity to take and allow those losses and those failures and those mistakes, all that negativity, to fuel you, to have that mental shift, to have that mindset shift, and do better for yourself and do better in life and learn and move forward. It should be your fuel. Aside from other things in your life, that should be your fuel, but that should be even more of a push of the best fuel that you can get to do you and do better. Because those are moments where you have the opportunity to grow, to strengthen yourself, to become wiser, to just live life and just become the better version of you, the greater version of you. And that's freaking amazing. Go out and allow yourself to have fun and smile and laugh. Rediscover the things that you used to like, or things that made your heart happy and made your heart whole that had nothing to do with that person. Go out and rediscover these things. Observe something new that you didn't know was there before. Enjoy your silence. Just enjoy your quiet time. Learn to give yourself love. Learn to give yourself time. Learn to give yourself attention. Learn to give yourself all that you gave them. Give yourself that, because it's your time now. It's time for you to heal. It's time for you to just be the one and give yourself your all. These are the moments, the opportunities that you get to reinvent yourself, to rebuild yourself, to redefine or find out who you are as a person. It's just your moments to shine and to work on yourself and to get better. I know it's gonna be hard. I know it's gonna be tough. Again, find out what works for you, thinking about all the bad things, because I know it's easy to think about all the good things that happen, all the wonderful things that happen, but what about the bad things? What about the things that they did to you that made you feel like crap, or the disrespect or the mistreatment and all the sadness that they brought and the pain? And it's a good idea to think about those too, so you're not just living in this bubble of like everything was good, because the reality is different. And you don't want to create this false little world that you're living in, or this false mindset or this false thought that you're living in, because when reality continues to hit you over and over again, you're going to be like, wait a minute, that's not right. It's going to affect you even more. And if you're feeling bad or you're feeling guilty for ignoring them, remember, this is going to be harsh and it's going to be the truth, but They weren't feeling sorry when they were doing these things to you, when they were harming you, when they were hurting you, when they were doing these things behind your back. Of course, if it all ended in a bad light. So don't feel guilty for ignoring them or for blocking them or for having no contact in their life. Ask yourself, how many times did you give them a chance? And how many times did they show their true colors over and over and over and over and over again? How many times did you hope that they would change? And they never did. And that's the thing. We can't force others to change. It has to come out of themselves because they want to, because it's a change that they are willing to make themselves happy and then in turn make you happy. What did they do every single time that you gave them a chance? They just over and over again showed you their true colors through their actions, through their words, mainly through their actions. Take this time to reconnect with old friends or old family members, or expand your creative side, work on something that you've been wanting to work on. Just go do you. And for many of us, a good rule of thumb is don't get into another relationship or any of that, or even think about that right now. Your heart does not need any more of that other people love. I mean, of course, like your friends, like your true friends. You know, I also think a big thing is friends who are constantly pressuring you to, oh, let's go out and drink to forget about this boy or this girl or this person. And it's not your friend's responsibility either to be helping you all the time or to give you things to make you happy. You have to do that for yourself. You want to go get it. That's just what it comes down to. If you want to go get it, if you want to feel better, you have to actively do these things to make yourself feel better. If you want to go get a freaking Wii Nintendo but you ain't got no money, is that what it's called, the Wii Nintendo? I don't know. I'm not updated with the game consoles. But like, you gotta fucking go work so you can get the money so that you can go get it, right? It's not gonna fall into your lap unless you get like a sugar daddy or a sugar mama or a sugar baby or a sugar grandpa or a sugar grandma or a sugar Theo or whatever kind of sugar it is. You gotta go get it. Again, I'm not one to sugarcoat things, and I'm not gonna sit here and be like, well, no. I'm gonna tell you how it is, because that's also what we need. We need to hear it how it is so that we can start to freaking come to terms with it, accept it, and understand it, and hear the words straight out of somebody's mouth that's not gonna bullshit. Because the more you bullshit, the longer you're gonna take, the more you're gonna create these ideas in your mind that it's gonna work out. Now is your moment for the 48 millionth time to go out and do these things, to go out and live your life. And most importantly, give yourself love. If you don't know how, learn. Figure it out. I've got videos on it too. People can't always be giving you the answers. You have to also take the initiative to go and find these things for yourself and learn about these things for yourself and do these things for yourself, because nobody else is going to do it for you. That is just how it is. That is how it is. Follow your passions. Again, it's going to be hard and it's going to be a trying time, but every single one of us is equipped with the tools within ourselves to get through anything and everything that life has to throw our way. We are all equipped to be able to get through it. We are all equipped to be able to get over that obstacle, to do what we got to do, and we don't need to be looking anywhere else for those kinds of things, because we have them all in here. We have them all up here. We have them all within ourselves. We are all capable, and we all have the potential to get through it. And we have to want it bad enough, because people can want it for us. People can want it bad enough for us, but if we don't want it bad enough for ourselves, what's left? You have to want it for yourself. So if you're for real about getting over them and for real about getting through this and healing your heart and getting through the heartbreak, you're gonna saddle up and you're gonna freaking start on this journey, because it's gonna be a long healing journey. What are you waiting for? Start now. Yeah, sometimes you're gonna feel like you're backpedaling, but in those moments, remember the whole thing about figuring out what's gonna work for you and what helps you? Figure those things out. And when you start backpedaling, resort to those things. If it's going out and finding a new coffee shop and you're sitting at home feeling like shit or starting to feel like shit, have that mental shift and be like, whoa, 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 okay. I'm feeling like crap. Acknowledge that you're feeling like crap and ask yourself, are you in the mood to cry for a little bit? If not, are you in the mood to feel better? Good. All right, well, let's get up and I'm gonna go look for a coffee shop. Don't think about it. Just do it on impulse. Go out and enjoy yourself. And while you're out, pay attention. Not when you're driving, by the way. Pay attention when you're driving safely. But like when you're, walking to the coffee shop, look around. Observe your surroundings. Look how beautiful the trees look. Look how beautiful all the colors that your eyes are soaking in. Take those moments to free your mind, to stop thinking so much, to stop worrying so much, to just give your mind a break and just take everything in. Just pay attention, listen to the sounds, feel the weather, allow the weather to hit your skin, feel what it feels like to be outside. Distract your mind, let your mind go to those places and observe the beautiful colors and pick out which one is your favorite color, which part of the wherever you're at is your favorite part of it. Give your mind those little breaks. And it might feel dumb, but like just try it. Like you lose nothing with trying, right? You lose nothing with trying it. You're gonna slowly start to see like, oh, wait a minute, I just forgot about all this crap. This is cool, I'm gonna do this more often. You start to learn what helps you in these moments and what makes you feel better, and that is important. That is self-love right there. That is self-awareness. That is starting to learn to love yourself more and to do these things to make yourself feel better because you care for yourself. You do deserve that self-care, to worry about yourself and care about yourself. We also have to know what tough times are and sad times are, pain, all of that. We need to know what that is. We need to. It's essential for life because in life we're gonna get hurt. We're going to get hurt. It's inevitable, and most of the time those that are the closest to you are going to be the ones that hurt you the most. It's going to happen. These things are going to happen. So you can either let that tear you apart and keep you down and fuck with you, or you can let it build you, let it strengthen you, let it make you a better person. Like I love saying, you can let these things make you bitter or make you better. That's up to you. But I can tell you it is a whole lot of a heck of a feeling better. That doesn't make sense. To let it make you better than bitter. So in conclusion, you have to figure out what those things are that are going to help you have no contact with them. One being blocking them. Block them from all areas, social media, life, friends, whatever it could be. I mean, if you want to, you can change your number. Know that you have to do this for yourself, and if people get mad, let them get mad. It's no longer your problem. And also, aside from all this, I think the huge thing is to get your closure. I think it's important. I know it might be scary, and I know it's not something that you want to do, but I think you should definitely get your closure if you have not, or allow yourself to have that closure, because that's another thing that will come back and bite you in the booty. I think if there are people that, let's say, are friends with your ex, I think it's a smart and respectful and good idea to communicate with them and talk to them and say, hey, I don't want to do this, but I think it's very essential for me to help me heal my heart. It's nothing against you. Please don't take it personal. I just need to do this because if I keep you on my page, or if I talk to you, or whatever it could be, I'm scared that all of this is gonna mess with me and things are gonna arise about them, and I'm gonna hear things and I just can't handle it. My heart can't handle it right now. So please, I just hope that you understand why I'm doing this. I just hope that it doesn't make you feel like crap, because that is not my intention at all. I just need to worry about my heart right now because I'm in a really bad place and I really just want to heal. And you know, you get the point. And if that person cannot understand that and is selfish and just like, no, Becky, that is not gonna happen. You're this, you're that. Well, then they really just don't fucking care for you. And they're not your friend, you know what I mean? Then you know where you stand with that person. Block them even harder. And of course, there are gonna be times when they call you private. There are gonna be times when they reach out to you and they do everything that they can in the little book of tricks, of manipulative tricks, to get you to come back, to get you to talk to them, to get you to unblock them. But you gotta stand your ground. You gotta hold yourself down. You gotta hold your own. You gotta put your foot down. You gotta say, no, I'm not gonna let any of this happen. Put your freaking phone on do not disturb. If you have to, turn your phone off. Do what you gotta do. My point is, this recovery is in your hands and nobody else's hands but yours. So you gotta take the charge, take the initiative, take the control, and help yourself out. Go out with friends, surround yourself with family, surround yourself with positive influences, things that positively impact your day, things that make you happy, things that give you joy, your passions. Do more of the things that you have so much passion for, because surrounding yourself in that and learning about that and just consuming yourself in that is going to uplift you so much, because now you're gonna be surrounded with the things that you freaking love, those things that you have such a fiery passion for, and being surrounded in that is just gonna be amazing. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who are positive, who make you happy, who don't drag you here to go have some drinks because that's gonna make you feel better, because at the end of the day, you know that it's not. If you want to, go for it. Let's go back to our DARE programs in school if we had those. Alcohol is a depressant. It's more than likely going to make you feel even worse than you did before. Aside from if you drink a little too much and you have a hangover, of course you're going to feel worse, but also emotionally worse. All the things are going to be coming back to you because it's a depressant. So that's the little thing to keep in mind. It's a moment to just work on the things that you've been wanting to work about yourself and change things if you've been wanting to change things about yourself. Again, reinvent, rediscover yourself, regain friendships. Maybe friendships were torn because of that. I don't know, but it's time for you to take all this time for yourself and dedicate it to yourself. I've talked a lot, huh? I don't. I talk a lot. We're freaking humans. We understand and we know and we hear it and we know what we gotta do. Sometimes we just don't want to do it because we're lazy asses or because we feel sorry for ourselves. Stop feeling sorry for yourself and put all that energy that you're using to feel sorry for yourself to fucking do something with your life, or do something with yourself, or give yourself some more love and just be happy. Life is too freaking short to be worried about somebody who did not have your best interest at heart. Is the truth. Sounds harsh, sounds mean, but it's the truth. It doesn't mean that they never loved you. It just means that you need to open your eyes to what reality is. That's the reality now. It's just life showing you that there's so much more for you coming ahead. There's so much more for you in life. That just means that that person was not meant for you, that there's a lesson to be learned here, many lessons to be learned here, and many opportunities to grow and strengthen and become a better person, a better version of you. But it's also telling you, hey, this door is closing now. That just means that there's 50 more openings. I don't know how many. There's just more opening for you. Walk forward. Go through those doors. Stand in the doorway and see how blessed you are. And fuel up. Get ready. Buckle up for all what's to come. I always like to say, be thankful for these things. Because of that, now you have other opportunities. You know, even though it hurt you, I think it's a good idea to be thankful for what you did experience and what you got out of it and what you learned from it. Because now you have the opportunity to learn about what you do want in life, about what you want for yourself, about what you would like to look for in the next relationship. Although we don't want to think about that right now, but you get to learn, like, I don't ever want to be with a person like that anymore. I don't ever want to be like that person. I don't ever want this, and this. So it's a moment to also think about these things and set boundaries, healthy boundaries for your next relationship or for yourself. Again and again, this is a moment to focus on yourself. Focus on finding a new hobby. Focus on improving the things that you want to improve about yourself, about other things in your life. Just doing you. And I think putting that focus in your life and distracting yourself and distracting your mind and keeping your mind busy and all that, I think that is something that is going to help you so much. It's going to help you distract your mind and give you less time to think about that stuff and to help yourself heal even more. But again, also give yourself time to think about it and to grieve your loss. And one thing that I found that really works is tire yourself out. Do a lot of things, whether that's working out or whatever it could be. Do a lot of things throughout your day to keep your mind busy, to keep yourself active. And it doesn't mean like active like running and stuff. I mean, if you want, but like, I mean, it's staying active, like going here, running errands, going here, cooking, playing with your dogs, hanging out with friends, go to work, learn something new, doing this, doing that. Just stay active throughout your day and be like the wolves and dogs that love to go to bed exhausted. So when you're ending your day, you're just like, oh, I am so tired. I just want to knock out. I don't have time to think. I just want to sleep all throughout the night like a little baby, like a little rock, and wake up tomorrow and do it all over again. All in all, I could say everything. I could add every single point and say all that's gonna work or what's not gonna work or whatever. But the most important part, again, is your actions and what you're gonna do and your mindset and your perspective and all of that. It's all gonna be on you. And it's not for you to think, shoot, I have this huge responsibility that stresses me out more. Oh my gosh, how am I ever gonna do this? No. Take a step back and realize that you have all the power in your hands. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You have the power in your hands to help yourself heal, to help yourself figure these things out, to help yourself figure out what works, what's not gonna work, what makes you feel better, what doesn't make you feel better, and everything. But you have to do it because nobody else is gonna be able to do it for you. That's point blank period. That's the truth. So I do hope that this helps. I know I could probably go on for ages and ages, but it is gonna be a lot for me to edit and it is gonna be a lot for you to view and watch. So if you got to this point, thank you so much. I do appreciate you sitting here and watching me blab and not getting bored of me. So thank you so much. That being said, I guess that will wrap this up, but I do want to say, if this did help you, or if you know that this can help anybody else in your life or anybody else that just comes across this video, please share this forward. Please take the time to just share this. You just never know who around you may be in need of hearing these words. And you might totally be the one to help them out, even if you have no idea that they need help or if they're in need of this. And I think that's also a big thing that also makes you feel so much better, is knowing that you help somebody else that's going through the same thing that you're going through and be able to relate to them, or just helping in general. Giving without expecting is always such a sweet thing. Is always helpful as well and healing. You know what they say, love heals, and I am a firm believer in that. So if you do have a few minutes to be kind and pass this forward or share this, I thank you so much and I appreciate it. Again, it doesn't cost a thing to be kind. I think that is absolutely amazing, because now you're not gonna be broke. You get what I'm saying? They're not like bills that you have to pay every month and you're just like, I don't even have money to buy myself chicken nuggets. This is not gonna leave you broke. So that's a good thing. Give this healing journey that you're on time. Give yourself time, give time, be patient. It's all gonna work out. Eventually everything is gonna connect for you and you're going to see that. But you have to help yourself. Yes, thank you so much. If I did help you in any way, leave me a comment or say something or just say hi to me. I don't know, come check me out on my social medias. If you're not already following me, I invite you to follow if you like what you see. Thank you so much for clicking play on this video. Thank you so much for watching it. I will see you in the next video. And remember, if there's one thing that I want to call to mind, there are actually three. No matter the highs, the lows, always be certain to do good, be grateful, and stay humble.